We're just not allowed to have nice things with
Man.
Twitch chat.
Welcome back, Hunter Burton, 10-year anniversary, 2024. 339 players, 13 rounds of Swiss, quarterfinals, semifinals. We have 2 players left.
It's all come down to this: the fish versus the creativity. So Spike called shot for Merfolk to win it once he saw the bracket. How you feel about the Merfolk's chances?
I think the Merfolk player was probably praying the Tron player won that last
absolutely.
match. And I think it's going to be a really close finals.
That was an incredible match between Tron and creativity. Just the clawback in game 1 where he looked dead for 6 straight turns and then had the lightning bolt to finish it off, and then the insane swap for the creature in game 2. Nobody saw the Emrakul coming. This room erupted when that happened.
Yeah, that was a great finish, great match, well played by both players. It was incredible.
Before we get started, we're going to take a quick look at the bracket. Break down what has happened if you're just now catching up with us. We were lucky enough to have 8 different decks here in the top 8, which was not a surprise after there were 21 decks live here on day 2. Chaz Alexander has run from the top spot, played first in every match. We'll play first here as well. Beat Golgari Yawgmoth, beat Andrea Lay in what has become my favorite match of the weekend. Just an incredible showing. Lee, I got the first name right. I apologize. Second time. Andrea, don't hurt me. Andrea Lee did defeat Esper Reanimator to move on there. As we look at the prizes, what was being paid out here today, payouts went all the way down to the top 48. The top spot here, $2,000 in cash. In additional, there are 4 invites to the RC in Dallas. So all of the players you saw last round will be attending the RC, even from Alaska. Has to be the furthest anybody came to play today, right?
I would think so. Yeah, most likely. I'm really excited they added the RC Dallas invites, and I think they've done that in the past couple of years. It's cool that they're starting to lead into the Pro Tour.
We gave away, I think, at least half a dozen over the course of the weekend, because there was one for the sealed event on Friday. There were 4 here. There's one for a couple other events. We are going to get into the finals here. Sam on Merfolk will be going second. Chaz on Jung Creativity. Chaz has been great on camera multiple times this weekend, but you gotta go for the folk. Everybody wants a Merfolk victory right after a banning.
We've had Merfolk on coverage a couple times this weekend. We talked about it's Merfolk. It's in my hands unplayable. On the other side of the table, terrifying.
Best deck in the format. If it's against me, unbeatable.
Since Chaz is the first seed, he does get to be on the plane. I think that is going to be a big deal in this matchup.
Sam also with no Vial. That's obviously the start you want as Merfolk. You just want to put a Vial into play. So without that, it's a lot harder to leave up counter magic and advance your board plan.
Yeah. Let's see what Chaz has in store for his turn 2.
That's good.
Yeah, it's going to be the two mana Planeswalker again.
Red and 6.
Really good play on turn 2 for this deck.
In the interview before this, Sam talked about turn 2, Red and 6 being one of the problematic cards in this matchup. No Vial, no plays yet. He has Flash. Don't let him trick you that he has no plays. But Red and 6 on the other side is definitely going to make things a lot harder for Sam as we get started here. Chaz wasting no time, fetching up a 3rd land here. I believe we decided that was a mountain last round. I know it's all black.
Can be whatever you want.
Cannon Grace thought it was the Thundercats logo in the middle there, but I'm pretty sure that's a mountain.
Yeah. Fable.
Quick Fable. And in response, we're going to have a Hexcatcher, I believe. Hexcatcher immediately counters the non-creature spell. Sam deciding it's not worth having the creature, better to make sure Fable does not happen.
Yeah. Getting Fable off of preventing it from ever even entering the battlefield, way better. Otherwise, Chaz could have potentially just had extra creativity for an Archon.
Hexcatcher, one of the Merfolk prints in the recent years that I think has pushed this back into playability and now maybe even into tier 1 status. The fact that it is not only a lord, but it is a counter spell, it's kind of perfect for the game plan that Merfolk's trying to do. And Chaz with the second creativity. Chaz's start is just incredible on the play. But we're going to get caught, looks like, with a Spell Pierce here.
Sam on the mono blue control plan this game so far.
Yeah. Hey, it's a plan, and he's going to flash in a threat.
It taps down creatures, correct? Correct. Trickster will resolve. I will...
I think that's a Merfolk Trickster that got flashed in. No creatures to tap, but at least he has a way to pressure this Ren and 6, unless Chaz has the Lightning Bolt that he's fetching for, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's going to make a Dwarf, might still have the Lightning Bolt, but setting up for the creativity that is the namesake of his deck. Looks like the Bolt. And Chaz has it all to start out here. The Ren is very close to ultimating. Sam has no board presence currently. He has luckily answered to Fables, so he's not under the pressure, but he now has to worry about getting creativity, and he has to worry about making sure that we get the Ren and 6 off the battlefield.
If Chaz has creativity, this might be the best start from this deck you could almost possibly have.
Yep.
Ren and 6 making sure that he doesn't miss land drops.
Sam just land pass. Surely nothing, right?
Surely nothing. Must only have 4 more lands in hand.
Yeah.
Sam considering a response to the fetch or bluffing a response to the fetch at the very least.
Oh, geez. Double Dwarven Mine.
He's going to go for 2, right?
we
He's
just
had
go-
everything this game. This
Yeah,
has been
why
the
not?
perfect opening draw from creativity.
Can't play around Spell Pierce anyway.
That's good. Trigger. Yep.
Instead, gonna dig for a couple more cards. May not have the creativity.
Might not. May not have had the actual
Yeah,
perfect
the hand
hand.
couldn't be perfect.
Instead, we had to go looking a little bit.
Cast another bit reading.
Okay, and you discarded this, right?
That's why I discarded the first one.
Yep, that's good.
Discard Archon, draw 2.
Bit of reunion. Chaz is going to discard the Archon that he can't play for at least 3 more turns. I think it's probably the right choice.
I do see creativity in Chaz's hand now. I don't know if he already had it or if he drew
Right.
it off
He may just be
first.
trying to play around counters. Sam with multiple flash creatures here and the ability to finally put a little bit of pressure in play on Chaz here. Never tapping his mana so that he can always leave things up as a good Merfolk player should. So very quickly went from no pressure to now it looks like 4 power currently in play. If my math is right, which it might not be, let's be honest.
Chaz with another lightning bolt.
Chaz been able to keep Sam's pressure completely under control and just ticking away on this Ren and 6 with a lightning bolt in grave. You can't let this Ren and
Yeah,
6.
the Chaz has got a blocker.
Yep.
Sam didn't have a way to tap that blocker.
3 in hand.
And now they're running 6.
I assume
And
Chaz is
it's
instantly going
immediately
to
hitting the bid. Now, any land the Chaz draws can be a lightning bolt.
Yep. Or a bitter reunion, or a creativity, or a persist. Decides he wants to keep the Ren and 6. Sam with one last window here to maybe get it off the table.
Well, so now Chaz can play a creativity for 1 and just play around Spell
Yep.
Pierce as well.
I believe that's the play here. Wants to at least play around Spell Pierce.
We'll see if he may still try to go for 2, but
I don't think
the
there's a
safer
need
play
to.
is, play around the Spell Pierce.
Creativity for 1.
Haven't had a look at so just for 1, wanted to play around Spell Pierce just in case. Chaz has played very tight throughout the weekend. Obviously at this point it's open deck list for the top 8, so Chaz knows the Spell Pierce exists in the main deck, knows to play around it. Sam is going to respond when the trigger goes on the stack.
Kind of that trigger.
That's good.
So this card has been everywhere this weekend as well, but Tashana's Tidebinder obviously is going to counter the activated or triggered ability, in this case triggered ability, and leave it shut down. Here comes another bolt,
Get my stuff fixed.
getting it off the battlefield, and
You can call it.
just
Yeah.
haste and dead. And just like that, Junk Creativity takes game 1. Sam was on the back foot from the beginning. No play on turn 1. behind a Renin 6 the entire game that he was never able to pressure. Chaz drew a bunch of lightning bolts, which is exactly what you want against your Merfolk opponent.
Yeah, Chaz really had it all that game.
Absolutely. With some movie magic, we're oh no, we're actually gonna get to seaside boarding this time around. So we're in a good spot. So let's talk a little bit about what the options are. Azorius Merfolk, I don't know what the actual white is in here. There may not be any. There are 4 spreading seas in Sam's sideboard, 3 stern scoldings, 2 counter spells, which are certainly coming in, a couple unlicensed Hearst, Sword of Fire and Ice, Dismember, Chalice, and another Spell Pierce. So I assume the counter spells and Spell Pierce are definitely going to come in.
Yeah.
On the other side, you have Pick Your Poisons, like every green deck. 3 Veil of Summer. I said that this card was really low on the weekend, but Chaz, who's here in the final, is playing 3 of them in the sideboard. Very good for this matchup. Alpine Moon, which is not meant for this. A couple Sarah's Emissaries for the change. The Emrakul that we saw be so big in top 4. A Molten Collapse, and then Legion's in, which will definitely come in here as well. Would you like to join us, Mr. Trophy?
Oh, Mr. Trophy.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at that.
Can we face it so that our names show out, so the people saw we once also got on the trophy?
Which year is that?
It's the first one.
one.
It's funny. It's a
You're
joke.
not gonna be able to see
It's a joke. It's fine. For those of you that don't know, my name is on the trophy. Hal, is your name on the trophy?
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay. If you're watching at home, you should come put your name on the trophy along with Sam and Chaz and all the other top 8 competitors and top 8 competitors from years past.
Not gonna lie, it's probably one of the coolest prizes I've ever won playing cards.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The other thing you get for top 8 is very limited edition die. That tradition was started by Jeff Zandy, kind of the godfather of Texas Magic. We lost Jeff a couple years ago. There's a memorial event for Jeff that is a Chaos Sealed, which was one of Jeff's favorite ways to play Magic. The game for that is actually currently still ongoing. We have our side events running throughout the end of today. If you have ever considered coming out, you should definitely come check this event out. It is special in ways that are kind of impossible to get across just on a screen. And everything we do goes towards our fight to prevent suicide. And if you, like us, believe in that cause, we would love to see you out here and support in any way that you can. It's like we are ready for game 2.
I'm gonna mulligan.
See what is a counterspell. At the beginning of today, I don't think I knew that counterspell art, but I've seen it a few times now.
If you're talking to me, David, I can't see you anymore.
Well, I'm going to talk to the trophy because I can see myself in it. Sam taking a quick. It's fine. Sam taking a quick mulligan. I was gonna come join us over here. I'm all right with that as well.
Right. Players taking a look at their opening hands.
It's got to be good to know that you're already qualified, right?
Yeah.
Don't have to just win this one. You got
Yeah.
to top 4. You got your qualification.
I'm not gonna.
I will try to not knock over the trophy.
One to the bottom. Island, pass the turn.
I'll play mine.
Sam kept the 6. Has spells. Has creatures. Looks like a decent start, but again, no vial.
Yeah.
I know that Sam has done well drawing vial all weekend. This is not where you want that to leave you. Jazz with a quick fetch. A lot of self-inflicted wounds on Jun Creativity's side.
And I think for Sam to have the best shot, need to have the most aggressive start possible. Not having Vial on one really hurts.
Has to
We
be
saw
he
playing the
needs to have
reactive
a
last game.
Needs to have
He's
a
not-
flash creature here,
Yeah.
6.
But
which
sure
he
does.
I'm sure he does. See if the trigger wants to get countered, or at least we're gonna pretend we could counter the trigger, or counter the spell entirely by.
Because the Tidebinder's 3, so that's
Yeah.
not an option.
It would be the Hex Catcher that could counter it.
So does resolve, discards an Archon.
Of course, you always have the Archon to discard.
Yeah.
I do kind of like that this version of Creativity is running the Persist package as another way. I know that sometimes just setting up Creativity can be hard. So there was. Sam at least chose not to flash anything in at the end of last turn. He is holding Counter Spell, and I believe that's Tishana's Tidebinder on the far left of his hand.
But with only one blue open right now, Chaz has the Persist, and Sam doesn't have an interaction spell that That could be.
Bittery.
Was
Real
the
bad.
card on the right of Sam's hand a Spell Pierce?
It might be.
Discard emissary. Draw 2.
Just another bit of reunion here. Chaz digging through, trying to find some action.
Looks like there's the Sarah's Emissary, which is also bad news.
Luckily for Sam at this point, he has shields up, he has counterspell in hand, and he has a threat. And that's exactly
you
what you
want
want
to be, yeah.
from a Merfolk standpoint. Down to
Oh,
Vial.
perfect timing.
Vial, one of the best cards in Magic on turn 1. Just not so great on turn 4, but take it when we get it.
And Chaz has drawn like all of his dwarven
Yeah.
mountains.
And wasn't able to turn the first one on either.
Or the second.
That's got to turn the second one on because it counts as the mountain itself.
That's the
But-
third one.
Oh, that is the third one. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Did find a bolt for the Merfolk of the Pearl Trident. Is holding creativity. Another Archon in hand. He's really low on things to find with creativity.
Yeah. Here's a persist. Sam is gonna have to stop this.
Yep. Looks like it was a Spell Pierce. Good to be able to use the Spell Pierce, not have to use the counter spell.
Yep.
Another one.
Vial's going to go up to 1. Sam,
So
at
many
least it's
lands.
immutable.
Yeah.
If you're going to draw a land, at least it's one that can attack. But Sam had to take a mulligan, kept a hand with 2 lands, and has just drawn 3 of them in a row. It's been a tough start for Sam here. He saw his shields up with counterspell.
Well, yeah, if Chaz goes for the creativity, which it doesn't look like he's going to go for it this turn.
No, just going to go for
Fable's
the Fable.
also kind of annoying, though.
Yeah, Sam in a very tough spot here. Could
I wouldn't fault
counter
him for
it?
countering it, but we know Chaz has the creativity in hand also.
he could Tidebinder the triggered ability of adding a counter, and then it would not get to add more counters as long as the Tidebinder stays in
But
play.
it wouldn't go on the next turn.
No, so it
Oh, as long as the time
as long
stays
as
in
Tidebinder
play.
stays
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
play.
And that's the plays.
I think that's what we're gonna get here.
I like this. Save the counter spell as long as possible
Yep.
for creativity or another persist.
I'm not 100% sure that's how it works, but I think that's how it works. Bolt is gonna take care of the Tidebinder unless Sam decides to counter. Decides to wait.
About it too.
Doesn't want to die to a persist or a creativity.
Yep.
I've got to assume this Mutavault is turning sideways.
That's the turn.
Instead,
Oh, Sam decides to hold up. May have drawn a second counter spell. I
Yeah.
didn't actually see what the draw
Maybe
was.
another time binder. or
Yep.
something. And you really need to have some pressure to have a shot.
Yeah, a couple of those islands in Sam Drew really needed to be 2-drop Merfolk
Yeah.
so that we could put a little bit of pressure on Chaz here. Chaz was our number 1 seed heading in and has been in control of this match after nearly losing in the top 4 in what was an incredible match. If you weren't here, I would definitely go back and watch that on the VOD. Chaz discards his 3rd target. He's got to only have a couple left. Gonna go for a persist again. This is gonna get counterspelled.
Will Chaz
then-
just go for the creativity?
I think you go for it. Like, just make him have another one.
Yeah.
I think
If he
Chaz.
does, Chaz doesn't really have a lot going on.
Yeah. If that is another counterspell,
Still at
or I mean, there's
13.
actually multiple cards here that can stop Chaz, but Sam only has 1 card in hand. Chaz is under no pressure. Maybe you don't go for it to play around Spell Pierce and wait a turn.
Nope, he's gonna go.
Okay, no fear.
Okay.
Has
And it
another
is the
counter
second
spell.
Counterspell. Wow. And
We're on
that
the-
makes total sense why the Mutavault didn't attack.
Yeah. 100%.
Sam now empty-handed, facing down a couple of dwarves and a Fable that's about to make a creature.
That's the turn to you.
Untap.
And Sam,
It's not a land.
it's not a land, but I don't have good enough eyes.
I assume,
Amy can probably tell
assume
me
it's
what
got
it is.
flash.
Tidebinder.
All right.
How does that work with the Fable resolution on 3?
I assume Tidebinder is going to stop the counter on Fable so that, or the trigger on Fable so that no creature gets made here. And all of a sudden, if Chad's hand is empty, Sam is a little bit ahead.
The trigger won't happen because the trigger gets countered.
Fought through creativity, double persist.
The
trigger
Not
that.
drawing
Been a
any
lot,
creatures.
yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be on
You
3.
really don't want to just be a
What will
control
that
deck.
do to it?
You
'Cause
really need to have
Sagas-
more pressure.
I don't-
But
Sagas have
Chaz at
no
11. We'll
creatures.
see what Chaz has on his turn.
The conversation is about whether the trigger is stopping the third from getting added, which would then stop it from being sacrificed as well, or if they're separate triggers allowing him to counter
I
just
just
the
want
one
to know
that
what happens to it. Is
makes the creature. I believe the judge is sorting that out with
and
them
so
right
does it
now.
go to grave? Does it just sit
Because if it counters adding the counter, then when he kills a tie binder
Yeah,
later
it's
in
so-
the game,
yeah,
it would then
yeah.
do the same sort of thing.
Okay, so it stacks because of state base action.
Okay,
because
so-
it reaches it.
Yeah, and its triggered ability is no longer on the
Okay.
spot, so it goes away.
Okay,
Just
that's all
gonna-
I wanted.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
I thought that's how we would end up. The third would still be added because it has 3 going to graveyard. The other trigger gets countered.
Sure.
But Chaz has another. He top of his deck has been kind to Chaz.
Let's see.
Honestly, kind of kind to Sam too with that counter spell.
Decides to play the fetch land. I'm surprised he didn't want to
Yeah.
just keep it for to
Bit of
discard it.
reason.
We'll discard it to the Fable next turn.
Yep. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, the Fable.
Maybe he's just preparing to hard cast an Archon.
We're definitely gonna see a block here. Sam is representing a lord. Just drew an island, but I love the stone face. In case there's a lord, he's gonna make sure.
I'll throw all 3. Or all 3 of them in front of me.
Okay, I'll order blockers, so we'll deal 2 to the shaman, 1 2.
Sam's gonna order it. So the 2/2 passes, and Mutavault gets in, dropping Chaz down to 9.
Go to 8.
Chaz gonna fetch himself down to 8. Oh. Sam at least bluffing about countering the ability.
It's a surveil land. We get to look at a couple cards.
Now we know he only has an island in hand, but I love the bluff.
Yeah, I always love the you don't have a counter spell.
Wait.
Oh wait, hold on. Okay, it's
Flick.
yeah.
All right, it resolves.
Draw. Trigger.
Chaz empty-handed draws will decide
Oh,
not to discard
no
the Fable.
discard. Great, that's terrifying.
Sure, instead.
Did you see that flash?
No,
Untap.
Anybody behind me see the flash? What's in his hand? Might have been an Archon.
and he's very close
He's
to
one
casting
land
it.
away.
Mutavault. Attacks.
Active Mutavault comes crashing in.
Sure.
Turns
Oh,
out
it
it's
was
a
a
lightning
bolt.
bolt.
Wow. Chaz's ability to draw Lightning Bolt has been S tier this game.
That's turn 2.
Draw. Trigger.
Another Aided Wow.
Do a flip.
Oof.
Exactly what you want to draw if you're Sam. Chaz's Fable is going to actually get to make itself flip this time around. Chaz is going to get in for 1, dropping Sam to 18.
This
Chaz
Briefly
is-
touches the vial as if he might have a response.
thinks about it.
No thanks.
Yeah, I'll pass the turn.
Island and something.
Untap.
I think it's another trickster.
Yeah, I think so too.
Fate.
That's good.
That's with another Fable.
Chaz's deck is dragging him across the finish line here. It drug him out of the deepest possible hole in the top 4 and has just provided gas after gas here in the top 8.
Boy.
Target reflection of Kiki Jiki.
Trickster is going to tap down the flipped Fable.
Pretty good.
Yep. And go for a block on the dwarf token.
Yep.
Sure. Before.
Sam has played this game and this match excellently. His deck has just not been as kind as Chaz's has.
It looks like when I check flavor.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm a triumph. I'll pay 3.
And looks like we have a
17.
removal spell.
Go ahead.
I'll keep.
Yeah, I got the trickster.
Or
Keep the
triumph,
dwarf.
maybe. Yeah, so
Oh.
Chaz.
Sam has
Chaz-
a dismember.
Oh,
And it can take care of the Kiki Jiki.
at the cost of 4 life. Just a heartbreaking way for the tournament to have played out here at the end for Sam. Looks like Sam is going to go ahead and use the dismember.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Yeah, I think so too. You're at 13.
Turn 2.
Sam has 5 turns. He just has to hope Chaz's deck stops giving him fire off the top over and over again.
Yeah. any non-land.
Problem is obviously that Fable gives him a redraw here, and then Fable will flip next turn. And it looks like it wasn't nothing off the top this time around.
Sure.
Brennan
6.
6.
All right.
Now Chaz is going to be able to start thinning. Chaz is at 5.
It's true.
The problem is that Sam has no creatures in hand, no presence on the board.
Yeah.
Even flashing in a tricky guy, getting a lord, you're only going to be able to deal 3 out of nowhere, not 5 out of nowhere.
And that's if Chaz has no blockers.
Yep.
That's fine.
Swing, trigger, make a treasure.
I assume Chaz knows he's not going to take any chances. Just going to leave the dwarf back and get him for 2. This blind will give Sam more time to draw some Merfolk here and build up a board presence. But we're going to have another flipped over Fable and a Wren that's ticking ever upward.
Recuse, Surveil.
Chaz is doing this whole game without ever having resolved Persist
Yep.
or Creativity. It's just all of the incremental guys, the dwarves and the tokens created by Fable and the Fable itself.
Card got left on top. That can't be good.
Yep, nope, that's not what you want.
He topped, right?
Looks like a flash of an Archon. There are 8 mana in front of Chaz, if that is an Archon. He has a treasure, which allows him to give it haste as well.
Yeah.
And I think, unless Sam drew a counterspell while we weren't looking, that this is likely to be the end of the Hunterbird Memorial Open.
Let's uptick.
Oh, he's going to go through all the motions.
Well, last time I thought it was an Archon. It was Lightning Bolt.
He needs to make sure he can pay for a Spell Pierce.
For an Archon?
Okay, fair enough.
6.
All right, that's 6.
1, 2, and 3.
Oh, we're just going to Creativity for 3, not an Archon.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Spell Pierce did matter because it was a Creativity. Does he have 3 targets? It's got to be the Emrakul then if you brought it in, right?
Should have 1 more Archon.
That's going to be protection from creatures.
GG's, well played.
Sam's
That's the
enough.
match.
Chaz Alexander takes down Sam. Excuse me, Mark Hart, I think, in the finals of the Hunter Burton Memorial Open. We played 13 rounds of Swiss, top 8, top 4. And our number 1 after the Swiss is our number 1 after the top 8.
Yep. 2-0 in the
Congratulations.
quarterfinals, 2-0 in the
quarters.
semifinals, 2-0 in the finals.
Yep, just a buzzsaw cut his way through the top 8. And Jung Creativity takes down the first large Magic event in a post banning world with no violent outburst.
Yeah.
What was your biggest surprise of the weekend?
Probably the Martyr Sands deck. I loved watching that deck every time we had it on.
Yeah, the Martyr Sands deck. If I was a betting man, I could not have given you odds for seeing Martyr Sands on camera at the Hunter Burton this weekend. It was fun. It felt like a flash in the past for a lot of these decks. I think that the banning just had a lot of people go, well, what's my favorite deck? I'm going to try and see if that's real again. And we saw Merfolk, we saw Mill, we saw Scape Shift, we saw Mono Black Control, just the whole gamut of decks that people played today at the Hunter Burton. We are going to have our champion in here in just a moment to be presented with the trophy and their winnings. Then we're going to do a little bit of a interview to talk about how the day went, why you picked the deck, all the different choices you made, things of that nature. So stick with us as we get both our organizer and our winner here onto the big trophy, man.
Yeah.
I like
Quite large.
it is the Stanley Cup of Magic. It's a big deal to put your name on the trophy. It's a bigger deal to put it on there twice.
Yeah.
It's the biggest deal to win it twice. I was sad to see Gary didn't make day 2 after multiple wins. I know he wanted to get his name on there one more time.
I think the Gorgon's Vengeance deck was a great choice for this one.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. There was another event that happened in Richmond this weekend that was won by Esper Gorgos Vengeance that had splashed in the Leyline of the Guild pack and Scion of Draco. So just slamming 2 decks together basically to make something new. I will be interested to see if that becomes the new way to play the Esper deck. I'll also be interested to see if the Scion just starts getting its way into a lot of different decks. Like it's 8 cards. One of those cards to all of your elementals and free spells, and the other one is just a giant threat that fits within any mana base. So I think we're gonna get Aaron and Chaz in here real quick. On the couch. You can see wherever you are.
Can you?
Yeah, good. You got to come a little more behind the couch.
How about I do mine behind so he can sit next to you, because
That works.
I can present this readily available right here. Awesome.
You're good.
Chaz, on behalf of the Hunter Burton Memorial Open and all the winners and top 8 that came before you that have been a great decade, this event, I am super thrilled to present you with the Hunter Burton Memorial Open Magic Trophy. And that one.
Thank you guys. It's an honor. It's really a really good thing, really cool thing that you guys do here, and I still speechless. Sorry, but had a great time. It was a great weekend. Shout out to my friends Landon and Chris who drove up with me and got me through this, and I appreciate it.
Chaz, let me ask you, our cause here is about suicide awareness and prevention, and our tournament is just a part of what we do for our cause. I say it all the time at the beginning of our event that we are a charity organization that uses gaming, Magic the Gathering to promote suicide awareness and prevention rather than the other way around. Can you tell me a little bit about the vibe and the atmosphere here? Do you feel like it's different from other events that you play in?
Yeah, this is by far one of the friendliest events that I've been to. Everyone here is super it's super laid back in the sense that we're all here for the cause. We're not just cutthroat going for everyone like a lot of the other tournaments that go on, but it's really met a lot of great people here. I've been here I've been for the last 3 years. I made a lot of great experiences, and I appreciate it, and I think it's a great thing that you guys are doing.
As it's a big deal to be on the trophy, I hope that this is one of many for you and that you will be joining us in the future. I'm going to turn this over to David, who has been slogging away doing this all day long, but I want him to ask you some really good questions about the matches and you to just kind of recap the day with him. But I wanted to say one more time, thank you so much for being a part of our event. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Jess, first of all, I want to say excellent job throughout the top 8. You just kind of tore through the top 8 there. You were also our #1 seed heading in. So I know it's been a lot. I know there's been a lot. Just take a moment. But do you have a favorite match that you played in the Swiss leading up to the top 8?
Yeah, so I actually played between round 5 and 7. I played against an older gentleman who was playing humans. It was actually on the stream, and he came here with his son and a bunch of their friends from I honestly forgot exactly where, but he was super sweet, super nice guy. His son actually did top 8 as well, so it was
that's awesome.
Nice seeing them there and rooting for them and everything there. But that matchup, wasn't expecting it. Went into a lot of matchups today that were very creature beat down heavy, and I was expecting a lot more combo based strategies since the recent banning, and chose the right deck at the time, and played well and got lucky some other times, and a lot of really tight games, a lot of really good players that came out, and really good time.
Yeah, that was a fun match to watch. The Reflecting Mage is a card I haven't seen played in Modern in a while.
Yeah, it came up a lot. It was bouncing
the
Archons and saying you can't play it, but I can still cheat it into play. So
yeah, absolutely. Were you able to draw in at the end, or did you have to sweat?
I was able to draw in the last 2 rounds. Yes.
Okay.
I started I got 2 buys and then started my first round off with a loss. didn't feel like it was going to be a good tournament.
You ran
and
it from there.
Ran it from there and went runner, and it turned out really well.
Two buys into double draw in. That's
Yeah.
just the way it's written up, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you wanted out of it. I do want to talk a little bit about the choices you made in your deck. So there were 5 total creativity decks here in day 2. One of them, also in top 8, was 5 color. So why did you choose to do Jund instead of the other versions kind of that exist out there?
So this is almost my exact list I ran last year.
Well, there you go.
I made 4th place last year up here. Lost to Scam and lost to Rhinos were my only 2 losses that time. Both those bans have recently been banned and pseudo banned out of the format, and it kind of opened up this one, and I like this one better for the more consistency, more turbo, just get the game plan going, either pitching Archon into the grave, reanimating it, or being able to creativity into it, Smogrify into it. Sorry, I'm losing the mic. But I chose this one. It just felt more consistent. It doesn't lose to Blood Moon as badly, and doesn't lose to other just land hate strategies and stuff like that. Just feels a lot more consistent. Feels a lot like Boomer Jund essentially, where you get to play the suite of Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, all of those
Like
classic
bolt.
cards. Yeah, bolts. You get 4 bolts. You got one of the oldest cards that's still putting in matches. A few matches I ended up finishing in game 1 before they came out, just to get the last 3 damage off on someone. And, one of the top 8s against Tron, I was able to deal 3 damage and finish him off with a ring trigger.
So I specifically want to talk about that Tron match. But before that, let's back up. Is this the same 75 you top 8'd with last year?
The differences are I was running a Triome last year. Now we switched up to 3 Surveil lands.
Yeah, surveillance.
Those have been phenomenal in every combo matchup, every combo deck I played. I did a couple testing with Goryo's, the Reanimator deck. That deck I think is running 4 of them. I may bump it up to 4. I haven't 100% locked on it yet, but those were phenomenal upgrades. We just trimmed on some of the shocks and some of took the Triome out. And then the sideboard, I removed the Force of Vigors for Pick Your Poisons.
Pick Your Poison, obviously one of the breakout cards of the weekend.
Yep.
All right, so last thing I want to talk about, the top 4 match.
Yep.
We all thought you were dead. If you go back and watch the coverage, they talked about how you were dead for probably 6 turns.
Yeah.
So what was your strategy for keeping going? What did you have that plan the whole time that you could find bolts to finish it off?
So for the I knew that I knew how many creatures and targets I had left in the deck. This deck grinds really hard, and you're not out until you're out. You're completely out. I've won a couple games with just Fable tokens and Dwarfs tokens getting in there.
Yeah, the last game.
And I knew I had at least I think I just had the 1 bolt, or no, this was game 1, correct? Or was this game 2?
Game 1.
Okay, yeah. So I had the 4 bolts, and I was tracking the life total, getting a little chip damage with the Dwarfs. Just knew my only clock was to get through that life total, and I've played against the ring a lot. Know that it's very, very strong. If you stop them from casting every single card they draw or slow them down a little bit, you can usually burn them out just with a little bit of chip damage.
It's good to know. Well, we are finishing up here at the Hunter Burton. I want to say once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
You came close last year. Does it feel good to finally cross the finish line?
Yeah, it's a relief. It's a long time coming, and happy to be here and happy it turned out.
Well, for all of the staff, for the judges, for everybody who donated their time and volunteered, for the Burton family, I just want to take this last moment to say thank you so much for tuning in. This is a passion project for all of us, and we will keep doing this as long as you keep supporting. We hope to see all of you here next year. And that's it. Tell them goodbye.
Bye, everyone.